Most people think a Casio is a backup watch, the thing you wear so your real watch does not get scratched. The cheap one, the disposable one. Most people have it backwards. Here is something almost nobody knows. Casio did not begin as a watch company. It began as an electronics company that built calculators. And when Casio finally released its first watch in 1974, the Casiotron, it did something no Swiss house had bothered to do in 400 years of watchmaking. It built a watch that knew how many days were in every month and changed the date by itself. No Swiss watchmaker had ever decided that was a problem worth solving. Casio did, because Casio was not thinking like a jeweler. It was thinking like a computer. That is the key to understanding every Casio ever made. A Swiss brand asks what a watch should look like. Casio asks what a watch should do. Once you understand that, the entire range stops looking random. The $14 plastic watch and the $70,000 gold watch are not two different companies. They are the same idea, built at 7 different levels. These are the 7 levels of Casio. By the end of this, you will know exactly what Casio is selling at every price, who each level is actually built for, and the 2 levels where Casio is quietly the best value in the entire watch industry. Level 1. Analog quartz. Level 1. Analog quartz. Every video about Casio starts in the same place, with the little black digital watch from 1989. It is a genuine icon, and it has been explained to death on the internet, so we are not going to spend your time on it. Because that watch is not even the Casio that matters most at level 1. The one that matters is the watch nobody ever photographs. The plain, round, 3-hand analog Casio. The MQ-24. The MTP series. The kind of watch sitting in a blister pack next to a pharmacy register for $10 or $15. This is the most honest watch Casio makes. There is no story here, no heritage. The movement inside costs Casio barely more than $1 to produce. It will keep time to within 15 to 30 seconds a month, which makes it more accurate than a mechanical watch costing 1,000 times the price. The case is resin. The strap is resin. It weighs almost nothing, and if you lose it, you will feel nothing. Here is what most people get wrong about level 1. They think cheap means bad. It does not. It means solved. The analog quartz Casio is what a watch looks like when a company has completely and permanently solved the problem of telling time and then stopped charging you for the privilege. The best pick at level 1 is the MQ-24 in black. It is not a watch you collect. It is a watch you forget you are wearing, which for a tool whose only job is to be correct, is the highest compliment there is. Level 2. The 80s machines. Level 2. The 80s machines. This is where Casio stops being a utility and becomes a piece of culture, and it happened almost entirely by accident. In the 1980s, Casio was still behaving like an electronics company. It put a working calculator on a wrist with the CA53W. It put a 25-entry phone book on a wrist with the databank. These were not fashion statements. They were Casio engineers asking a simple question. What else can we fit in here? You are spending $25 to $50 at this level. What Casio did not plan for was what happened next. The thin gold-tone metal Casios, the A158 and the A168, the ones people now call the vintage series, were never designed to be stylish. They were designed to be cheap. But decades later, those exact watches were adopted by skaters, by hip-hop artists, by streetwear brands, and they were eventually reissued in collaborations that sell out in minutes. What the marketing will not tell you about Level 2 is that Casio did not engineer this. It is the only watch company in the world whose cheapest products became cultural objects without the company spending a single dollar to make it happen. A Swiss brand pays for heritage. Casio's heritage showed up uninvited. The best value at level 2 is the calculator watch. Not because you will ever use the calculator. You will not. It is because you are buying a small, working piece of the 1980s that, unlike almost everything else from that decade, never stopped functioning. Level 3, the standard G-Shock. Now we reach the watch that built the modern Casio. And yes, it survived a famous fall onto a hard floor and an engineer who refused to give up. That story has been told 1,000 times. We are going to talk about the part nobody explains. A G-Shock is not really a watch. It is a kit. The DW5600, the square. The GA2100, the slim octagon. The DW6900, the 3-eye that has appeared in more films than most actors. Every one of them is built from separate, replaceable parts. A module, a bezel, a band. Each one carries its own part number, printed right on the case back. Here is what most people get wrong about level 3. They think durability is the point. It is not. Repairability is the point. When a Swiss watch breaks, you send it away, and you wait, and you pay. When a G-Shock breaks, you order an $8 module, you pop it in yourself, and the watch is new again. There are G-Shocks from the 1980s still running today, not because nothing ever failed, but because everything that failed was designed to be swapped out. You are spending $60 to $110 at this level. And what you are actually buying is a watch with an expiration date that does not exist. The best value at level 3, and one of the best values anywhere in watches, is the DW5600. It is the original square shape, it costs less than a tank of gas, and it is genuinely impossible to wear it out. Level 4, the instrument G-Shocks. This is the level where Casio stops competing with watch brands and starts competing with measuring equipment. Two things change here. First, the watch starts powering itself. Casio's tough solar system runs the entire watch on light, including ordinary indoor light, which means a level 4 Casio can go 10 years or more without you ever touching the battery. Second, the watch starts sensing. The Master of G line, with watches like the Rangeman and the Gulf Master, carries a triple sensor that reads altitude, barometric pressure, and direction. These are not novelties. A drop in barometric pressure is an early warning of bad weather, and on a mountain, that warning has real value. If you are getting value out of this breakdown, take 1 second and hit subscribe. I break down watches and the culture around them every single week. There is also a quieter watch at level 4 that serious collectors hunt for, the GW5000U. It looks identical to the $50 square from level 3, but it is not. It is assembled in Japan. It has a stainless steel inner case instead of a resin one, and a screw-down case back. It costs around $300, and Casio barely advertises it. What marketing will not tell you at level 4 is that the GW5000U is Casio quietly building a watch for the person who already knows. The best value here is exactly that watch. It is the square G-Shock for the buyer who has owned 5 of them and finally wants the real one. Level 5, the Frogman. Most videos about Casio skip this watch entirely, and that is a mistake, because the Frogman is the most serious tool Casio has ever put on a wrist. The Frogman is Casio's dedicated diving G-Shock, and it is the only G-Shock that carries full ISO certification as a genuine diver's watch. That is not a marketing badge. That is the same international standard a Swiss dive watch must pass. You are spending roughly $400 to $1,000 here, depending on whether you choose resin or titanium. Look closely, and you will notice the Frogman case is not symmetrical. One side bulges out. That is not a styling choice. The asymmetry exists to protect and reposition the controls for a diver wearing thick gloves in cold water. Every strange line on this watch traces back to a person actually using it underwater. Here is the uncomfortable truth about Level 5. A Swiss dive watch at this price is selling you the idea of diving. The Frogman is selling you the act of it. One is jewelry shaped like a tool. The other is a tool that happens to keep time. The best pick at Level 5 is the Frogman in any generation. Collectors treat the limited editions as grails, and the prices on the secondary market are starting to prove them right. Level 6, the Metal G-Shock. This is where Casio attempts something that should not be possible. It tries to make a watch that survives a fall onto concrete and also belongs in a boardroom. There are two families here. The MTG, starting around $1,000, uses what Casio calls a core guard structure. The metal parts of the case are deliberately not bolted rigidly together. They are separated by fine internal buffers, so an impact still travels around the movement instead of into it. It is shock protection rebuilt entirely out of metal. Above it sits the MRG, Casio's flagship, climbing past $3,000 and $4,000. Here is what most people do not know about the MRG. It is built in a single facility in Yamagata, in northern Japan, on what Casio calls its premium production line. The number of technicians qualified to assemble these watches is very small, and earning a place on that team takes years of training. The hand-polished surfaces on an MRG are not done by a machine. They are done by a handful of specific people, and Casio knows every one of them by name. What the marketing will not tell you at Level 6 is that you are no longer paying for toughness. Toughness was solved at Level 3 for $50. At Level 6, you are paying for human hands. The best buy here is the MTG. It delivers 90% of the experience for a fraction of the flagship's price. Level 7, the Grail Casio. We have now left the world of watches you can simply walk in and buy. In 2019, for its 35th anniversary, Casio took its most ordinary shape, the square G-Shock, and built it out of solid 18-karat gold. The GD5000. It cost around $70,000, and Casio made 35 of them. Sit with that. The same silhouette that costs $50 in resin became a $70,000 object, and the only thing that changed was the material and the scarcity. This level also holds Casio's dream project pieces, its experimental one-off concepts, the rarest MRG collaborations, and the early vintage hardware. A first-generation square from 1983, an original Frogman, and the Casiotron itself, the 1974 watch that started everything, now a genuine museum piece. Here is the uncomfortable truth about Level 7. None of these watches keep better time than the $14 Casio. None of them survive an impact better than the $50 one. You are not buying performance anymore. You are buying scarcity, history, and the strange pleasure of owning the final form of an ordinary idea. There is nothing wrong with that, as long as you know that is what you are doing. So where does that leave you? The sweet spot of the entire Casio range lives between Level 3 and Level 4. The standard G-Shock at $60 to $100 is honestly one of the best values in any product category, not just watches. Step up to Level 4 if you want a watch that powers itself and measures the world around you. Go higher only if you have fallen for the engineering and you know exactly why you are there. And here is the thing that makes Casio different from every brand we have ever covered. A Rolex needs you to believe in it. A Patek needs you to understand it. A Casio needs neither. It just needs you to put it on. It has been making that same simple offer since 1974, and it has never once broken its promise. That is the whole point. Every other watch company is selling you a story. Casio is just selling you a watch that works. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this one, and I will see you in the next one.